Okay.
So, here I am with Wally Marno, right?
How's it going?
For a second, I was like, did I get that wrong? No, I'll be casting this game alongside Wally Marno. This is one of the first games I've casted, the first in-house fives games I've casted in about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, about a week.
It's
Um,
been a while.
it's been a while. I've been playing in a couple of them, but I don't know. They haven't been going as, I don't know, maybe it's that it looks a lot more competitive from the spectator point of view.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, so we'll see. This
No,
game looks to be quite competitive. We don't see really any of the somewhat trolly like Jamal Sun joined and then left. Also,
yeah,
those were the
right.
fastest picks and bans I think I've ever seen. It was like Sheko, Tarek, Oliver,
Oh yeah,
Alistair, Lulu
definitely.
jungles.
No time for any analysis at all. But I just
Yeah.
want to say that there's a lot of high ranked players in here. Then they seem to, know what they're doing. We
Hmm.
shouldn't be expecting too much trollishness.
Lots of supporty champs banned, and when I say supporty, I don't necessarily mean support role, like the person who doesn't take CS bot lane. I mean people with utility. So Lulu and Janna can be played as AP carries. Alistair can
Hmm.
be played as a jungler, but they banned them all pretty much. So
Actually, something worth to note is that the purple team banned Tarek, Aller, and Jenna, all really disruptive supports, and then they first pick that Blitzcrank. Someone that
mhm,
would those kills from coming in.
mhm. Yeah, that's I mean especially the Janna ban against Blitz. Blitz is just so bursty, especially if you pair him with someone like a Graves or maybe a Tristana. Um, so Janna is very anti-burst because of her shield and her knockup. So I really
Hmm.
like the Blitz ban, and then it looks like maybe. So I really like the Janna ban. I don't know though. Sona and Soraka, if you can kind of get through the early stage, if you can get to like level 9, it does become very difficult for Blitz to pick up the kill as long as Soraka puts down that heal at the right time, because it gives you like
Hmm.
100 in armor or something crazy like that. So, but we do see the Nautilus picked up by Glycerol. So both of those first picks, the Blitzcrank and the Nautilus, are huge CC disruptors. I think
Yeah, they're
Nautilus does,
totally going for control.
yeah, Nautilus does a little more, bit more damage. I actually, I think Morgana is very good against Nautilus. So maybe, Purple Team might have wanted to pick up that Morgana, which was picked after they picked Blitz and Victor, just because a lot of what Nautilus has to offer takes a while to kind of throw down. So like he puts that ulti on, it takes like 4 seconds maybe to hit you. You have a
Hmm.
long time to put that shield down, either on you or your carry or whoever. And really,
Hmm.
other than CC, Nautilus doesn't really have a whole lot to his kit. So we shall see.
Well,
Uh,
the CC is going to accentuate really well with Morgana's
yeah,
overall style. Being able to follow up with a stun, with her snare, or being
mhm,
able to get an ult off right after Nautilus pulls his ult. I could
yeah,
see some good synergy with it, but there's some good counters to that, like Lee Sin being able to keep out of it, or Vayne being able to tumble out.
yeah. But I think both, wow, four very, very, very good picks against Blitz. Really, one of the big counters to Blitz is if you put someone on that team who wants to get grabbed. Like if you have an Amumu and you grab an
Hmm.
Amumu in your team, it's like, thank you for initiating the fight for us. And Morgana's a little bit like that because if she gets grabbed into purple team, she can just pop her ulti and then put her Janya's hourglass down and become invulnerable and do a lot of damage and a lot of CC. So we shall see. Castro actually not deciding to pick up Flash, which is interesting.
Here's an interesting thing. Who do you
Who's
think is going to be
support?
jungling for the blue team?
I would say either Nautilus or Shen. Probably,
Hmm.
probably Nautilus. I think.
It looks like they're going for something a little untraditional bot lane. Then it
Yeah.
would be really interesting to see what they're going to do.
Well, I mean, they did ban pretty much every support. The only supports that you really see who are left are Soraka and Sona, and I guess they didn't really. Purple team's not so afraid of that. Oh wow, is no one juggling? They only have 1 second to lock in this line. Yeah, it is going to be Octave. He's just trolling me.
Okay.
He loves to troll. He did
Well,
pick up
Shush
Ghost.
is a decent jungler. I mean, I would put him
Shen?
on the level of Nautilus, but
Shen, really his weakness is single target, kind of slower clear times. But he ganks very hard with taunt. He's very sustained, so he can start with like a ruby crystal and just go for that GP5 and still get very, very beefy. I think Nautilus is probably the better jungler. However, Fat wanted to run up solo top with Renekton. And I mean, Shen, really not a terrible pick. I think if, it's sort of like that thing about who do you grab as Blitzcrank. Even if they get the grab on Tristana, Shen can just turn that into, turn that gank around by ulting her, for what was it, 250 health at level 6, and then taunting Vayne and Blitz when they, when the ulti finishes for Shen. So I don't know. It's an interesting team comp for Blue. I think Shen jungle, you used to see it. I know Saint Vicious in the lead up to IEM Hanover was doing it all the time, just like 24/7. And he was doing all this crazy stuff like 2-man barons at 15 minutes, and it was ridiculous. But I don't know. He did get some numbers nerfs, and especially the fact that he's so single target means he is a little bit weaker. Caffeine is such a dominant Lee Sin. He plays a lot of Lee Sin, so it's going to be interesting to see. He's also a very, very strong early game. Like Lee Sin in and of itself is very strong early game, but the way Caffeine builds him, which is usually boots into 3 Dorans, Doran's Blades, is super, super strong early game, and that's when Shen's at his weakest. So I think a lot of this game is just going to come down to how well Caffeine can counter jungle. If he can do a good job of it, then it wouldn't be surprising if we saw Purple Team get a little bit of a snowball going on with all that hard CC they've got. However, if Blue Team gets an advantage and they can kind of team fight, that Morgana, that Nautilus, that Shen, that Renekton just so beefy. Are you using push to talk, by the way?
Oh no, I'm not. I'm using continuous. I probably should.
Turn on your damn push to talk. You're ruining my cast.
Just a quick note though. I really would like to want to see this top lane matchup between Olaf and Renekton, 2 really strong laners going at it.
Yeah. I mean, Olaf. We haven't really seen Shreeve on Olaf, and they didn't ban Riven. I guess she's just maybe looking to branch out, but I don't know. I've seen her a couple times, and I think she did relatively well. But it will be interesting to see. The nice thing about Olaf is that you can max that Q or you can max that E. I don't really think it makes a whole lot of sense to put many points into your W, which of course gives you more sustain. But maxing Q and then just throwing Axe safely from range is a ton of harass. It's something like 300 or 400 damage at level 9. Like when you have 5 points in it, it's a huge nuke. And if if you're in a losing position, I think that's really what Olaf excels at. If you're in a losing position, he just it's horrendous how strong he is if you fall behind. So it will be interesting to see exactly how Shreeve is able to handle that. Castro with the Riot Girl Tristana skin, that is sort of like just nobody used that skin. I liked Riot Games on Facebook and got free Tristana when I was starting out, but I don't think I've ever played with that skin because it just screams. I don't know. It's like using the free Alistar skin. I just hate seeing it. But Castro is a very good player. It's just that if a good player makes a mistake with Riot Girl Tristana, it makes everyone think of those games when they were level 5 and Tristanas would be rocket jumping into all 5 people. So we shall see. And actually, hopefully that won't happen this game for Castro because she has Heal Ignite instead of Flash. So if she makes one mistake in positioning with her rocket jump, she is going to be shit out of luck. I'm going to try using directed camera, by the way, for the first half of this game. Just to see how it rolls.
I think it's great. But hey, quick question. How do you get the push to talk feature to work on this? I'm having trouble with it.
Go to settings, enable push to talk instead of continuous, and then go to under settings, also go to shortcut and set up a push to talk key. So I use mouse 4, like the forward button on my, for browsers. The go back, go forward button, I use the forward button. It's quite good. So anyway. Yeah, the thing I don't like about this directed camera is it's so jerky. It tries to center it on someone instead of just framing the action and leaving it stationary, so I don't know. Should be able to smooth that. Do I want to turn on chat? Who's better at fisting? Oh god. So it does look like it's going to be a Nautilus support, though. By the way, you know, we did kind of discover that when Shen went for the Smite Ghost. However, it is still interesting to see. You don't really see Nautilus support every day, and it's sort of like Blitzcrank. He has no heal sustain of any type, whether it's on himself or on an ally. So any damage you take, except for that passive health per 5, you're going to have to stick with it. However, both supports have a crazy amount of CC. So we shall see. It's going to be sort of a meat grinder bot lane. I think that if Blitzcrank can maybe get a pull on into the brush, where Vayne can then condemn them into the wall, especially if Koban decides to put some trust in the Blitz and really gets those. If Blitz can hit those grabs and Koban can rely on that for the condemn, that would be huge. Condemn is actually a massive nuke. It's something like 500 physical damage at level 9, which for an 80 carry, is just absolutely absurd. Some nice poke going down. Did you push to talk?
I just joined in the game right now. I couldn't get the push to talk to work out, but we got a Caffeine going up top for a level 2 gank.
Yeah, with that red buff and with the the Q and the E, it is super. Okay, screw it. I'm turning off this directed camera. I'm doing this manually. So it shall be interesting to see. Yeah, exactly. Poopster, not usually jungling. Usually jungling, at least when he plays with his team, and not usually going for those. Going for the AP mid roll. Olaf decided to start with the reckless swing and not the undertow, which maybe was caused a little bit of trouble for Caffeine. Caffeine falling a little bit behind in the jungle clear times. However, he's just so much faster than Shen.
Yeah.
So it's not really going to make a difference.
He's been putting a lot of pressure with his early game. When during the meantime, Shen's just been clearing camps.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nice when your Olaf has 12 CS and your Renekton has level 4 CS, because for all this Renekton knows, Lee Sin could still be in that brush. And Shreep just doing some nice, doing work, putting down the harass. It's gonna be interesting to see. Generally Renektons don't like to build a lot of sustain. Mid. Yeah, it looks like Caffeine's coming in mid.
But that Morgana with her shield,
she can just
totally negate any
huge
CC.
Ooh, wow! Caffeine with a nice dodge on that that binding. He moved down a little bit to the right and was able to successfully kind of dodge that. Octave, not quite level 4. If I were him, I might want to just stick around. If he had cleared those wraiths, he could have hit level 4. Instead, he's going to waste a little bit of time, I think, because Victor is just going to run away. So, looks like a little bit more harass going down on the hands of, going towards Vayne than it is going to Trist. So we shall see.
Yeah, Nautilus is a really underrated support. He does a lot of damage, and he actually almost lands.
Almost landing that hook on Koban. Oh, however, Koban actually with the advantage in harass so far, because Tristana still has. Tristana's burned through her 3 health bots. Vayne hasn't. Vayne still has 1. Shen coming up top. Olaf is sort of, Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. This lane will shortly push back in favor of Olaf. However, actually, I don't know. I don't know why Octave is it.
Approaching this gank right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's actually first blood down bot. Picking up the kill on Tristana.
And that's the thing.
Oh, and there's the kill on Olaf too. Oh, Jesus. All right.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go back and I missed both of those kills. I'm just going to go back. Oh, wow. Tristana actually rocket jumped in. Got a very nice knock up from Sabertooth Pie. But anyway, I was going to say, Octave, really should have gone around. They did eventually pick up that kill, but he wasted a lot of time, and he could have done that much earlier had he just gone in from behind. There's no reason to wait in that river brush. So anyway, I'm catching up now. I just went back to look at
just to give you a little heads up, Blitzcrank tried to grip Nautilus underneath the turret, and what ended up happening is he took a couple tower shots. Nautilus gripped him back and actually was able to get a little damage and almost killed him.
Yeah.
But
how did he end up behind him? I just saw that. They grabbed each other at the same time, and
yeah, that was
that was strange.
I think he just wanted to put out a little harass. He was low and didn't really see any of that grips coming. Because I mean, Nautilus really
No,
does
no, no.
not
I
have a
think
lot of control with that.
no. He ended up behind Nautilus. They used their
Yeah,
grabs at the same time, and they kind of switched
well,
positions.
To be quite honest, I am not sure about that.
No, I think it's just
so unexpected.
If two Blitzcranks grab each other at the same time, they also completely switch positions. So I guess the same thing happens with Nautilus. One used Dredge Line, the other used Rocket Grab, and they just kind of ended up behind each other. Oh, thanks. It looks like Renekton is just going to be able to use that Slice and Dice very nicely to get away. Right now we see 29 CS on Olaf to 27 on Renekton, so Renekton's caught back up.
Going down.
Wow.
Victor almost killing Morgana.
Might be able to pick up the kill here. There it is. Nice job. Victor's ulti actually does some of the highest magic damage burst in the game. Oh wow, and a Shen with a nice counter gank. However, Lee Sin is around, lands that Q. He is only level 4, but the exhaust goes down. Some nice auto attacks going on. Tons and tons and tons of damage. Oh, Caffeine actually used his shield on himself for that attack speed buff. Maybe it would have been a little bit smarter to kind of use Safeguard to get out of those creeps.
Meanwhile, there's just trades going down while all this action is happening in mid. There was
crazy.
A trade that happened.
This isn't like
a crazy game.
This isn't like those high-level plays where you just kind of watch everyone farm until they go for dragon. Everyone is always getting ganked and dying, and it's crazy. Caffeine doing a nice job counter jungling is sort of behind, I think, where he really wants to be in levels. Currently, he is only level 5 after picking up the blue. Generally, as a jungler, you want to hit level 6 after getting that camp. I did also walk by this war just now, so blue team will know that Lee Sin's at the red buff, although Shen is just going to go and make sure that the blue buff is cleared, which it is not, so he's just going to take those small creeps. Lee Sin goes ahead, gets the red, still not level 6, quite far behind where he really wants to be. At any rate.
You know what, it's fine for Lee Sin right now and being able to take those blues away from their team. Even though he is behind, he's keeping the other jungler behind, which... I mean, even though he's not that far ahead.
Yeah, a nice grab, by the way, going down on bot. Oh, and that could actually be a kill because Tristana has that ulti, which deals huge amounts of magic damage, and there it is.
Very nice.
That is the power of Nautilus. The Vayne was just sitting between two creeps, and a nice dredge line, a nice auto attack, putting down that... Oh, and actually a gank mid also going off. Yes, forced to flash away. Didn't actually use that Black Shield. Black Shield doesn't really make a whole lot of difference when Caffeine lands that nice Q. Once it lands, there's nothing you can really do to stop it. Although you can, of course, block the slow and the kick. Any CC will be blocked, whether it does magical or physical or true. I don't think there's any true damage CC spells in this game. But so, for instance, Lee Sin's kick deals physical damage, his Dragon's Rage, but it will still be blocked by Morgana's Black Shield. Although physical damage will not be blocked. Yep.
Right. One thing to note, we're almost about 10 minutes in this game, and even though purple team is up a kill, blue team is still ahead by about 1,000 gold, and the difference might be the Renekton being able to control lane over Olaf.
Yeah, well, she's actually falling quite far behind, about 28 CS behind right now. Although she does have this huge wave, and as long as she doesn't get dived, and lose all this CS, she's going to be able to catch up a significant amount of that, doing as best as she can to freeze that lane. Oh wow, actually, damage going down bot lane. This time, and a nice rocket jump in from Castro, able to rocket jump back out. Of course, every time Tristana gets either a kill or an assist, her rocket jump will reset. Victor gets taken... oh wow, and Shen actually forced the ulti in there to prevent Yes from dying to that shield. Sorry, to that ulti. If we take a look... Oh, wow, and Shen actually ghosting in, but he does take a lot of damage. The Ignite goes down. Actually, Victor didn't use Ignite on Morgana, which is interesting. At any rate, we do see that Victor's skill order has been Q, max Q, then E, and of course getting that 1 point in ulti at level 6. Not quite...
Interesting thing to note, he didn't put any points in his W.
Yeah, exactly. And especially against Morgana, who doesn't really care about CC, that really is the thing to do. Shen, maybe if you were against like an Udyr or, let's see, a jungler without a gap closer, like a Master Yi or an Udyr who has to walk up to you to start auto-attacking, that Gravity Shield is huge at stopping ganks. However, against a Shen who has that gap closer of a taunt, Oh, it looks like he has finally put a point into his oh wow, and actually, ooh,
Oh,
yes, the kick
clutch
gets
shield.
completely blocked by that black shield. What do you think about Morg? What do you think about that
Oh,
black
we got a
shield?
gank bottom.
Oh, thanks. A
Nah,
little bit
give
of a
me
late
give me
ulti
space.
from a little bit of an ulti from. Oh wow, actually gets grabbed in a turret. Wow, and that's
Oh,
not quite gonna be a kill.
hey.
Castro needs to be careful here because, of course, Vayne can get one auto attack off from that brush and maybe take her down. Blitzcrank has his grab up. Is he going to get a grab? There is a lot of action going down mid in a 2v2. Yes, does get taken down. The gravity shield goes down. Lee Sin's not going to die. But I was so, oh, and there's a grab, but no, it is blocked by a minion. And it looks like now Caffeine is signaling for a dragon. He has picked up that Vamp Scepter, and he does have 2 Duran's Blades. He doesn't have the damage from Madrid's Razors. And no ward on Dragon, so I think they might have an idea that they're doing it now. They do spot Vayne auto attacking it.
It's a really good call.
Yeah.
Even though they're all really low, there's no contesting for it.
I mean, they just kill. Trist and Nautilus are super low on health. Trist actually not going B just yet. Oh wow, and actually the ulti goes down from Nautilus. There's the kill picked up. Actually, Blitz didn't even get the assist there. He didn't. He did get an XP, of course. You don't have to get the kill or the assist to get XP when an enemy dies. Sort of like getting last hits. You just get that XP if you're around. But he didn't get the 175 gold of the assist. Lee Sin just going to go back and keep farming up. You should see. We're going to see the general trend now that even though Caffeine was a little bit behind early game, he just clears so much faster than Shen is able to. So even though Shen has that recurve bow likely going to be built into a Wit's End, it doesn't really do all that much against those small creeps, whereas Caffeine can just kind of go in, put down his Tempest, his E ability for some nice AoE damage, and then really just max him down very fast. Shreeve actually going to ward, but does find Renekton and takes about a third of her health. It's going to be interesting to see how well she can sustain. Oh, and Lee Sin actually gets picked up on a ward from Fat. Needs to be careful there.
Pop.
Yeah.
Nothing too serious.
But... Yeah, I mean, Caffeine walked over a ward. It's gonna be. Oh wow, and that ward has actually just expired, and they know that he's in there. Lee Sin actually landing the Q. Needs to be careful because he is taking a lot of damage right now. Fat's gonna go ahead and use that slice of dice over the wall. Dashes back over actually. I think maybe trying to bait them out because Morgana's in the area. Both of them warding that tri-brush. They are now going to spot Morgana on the ward. Victor is actually waiting here in this brush, and this is a perfect strategy for AP Mids to use. Morgana has no vision right now. He's going to... Oh, wow, and he actually misses his...
Misses the rate.
Oh, no.
So close.
Poopster. I don't think he would be able to full to 0 a Morgana. By the way, Morgana's built triple GP5. I just noticed that build. Oftentimes... Morgana with a Johnny's Hourglass is just so strong. So you don't really need those Doran's rings because all you do is pool minions, and the base damage on that pool is able to nuke down a minion full to 0. We do see Victor's around down bot. He's not stepping on a ward, so they don't actually know, and they're going in on Koban. Blitzcrank actually flashing in. Are they going to pick up the kill? They do. Tristana picks up the kill on Vayne. However, they might owe a nice grab from Sabretooth Pie. They might also be able to take down this turret if they want.
Down Leets in mid.
Oh yeah. Oh, and a nice job on that bind. Morgana can of course hit her bind and then use follow it up with an ulti, or she can just ulti. When they get stunned, she gets the free bind, and then she knows that pool is going to get 4 or 5 seconds of duration out of it.
I don't mean to interrupt you as well, but we actually completely missed a kill up top as well when Renekton took down Shreeve.
Oh, wow. Probably a turret dive.
There's a lot of action going down this game.
I mean, yeah, there really is. It's like the EU Nordic East Goperlols, where they just kind of spin their camera across the map, picking up all 65 kills that happened in a 20-minute game over there. So it does look like there's like a 60 CS lead. Shriek does have 121 armor now, and other than the kind of damage over time AoE on that ulti, almost all of Renekton's damage is physical, not magical, so that armor is really going to help her out. See, you still can't set up that push to talk, right?
No, I'll give it a shot though. Is it really? If it's really bothering, I'll just go ahead
you just keep coughing.
No worries.
No, it's the coughing. I love your helpful analysis.
Yeah. Okay. No. Let me see what I can do.
Okay. Oh, actually, Shriek gets taken down very low yet again. She's just having a lot of trouble this game. You know, as a lot of these solo tops with kind of active, I say active, sustain, that is something like Lifesteal or Spell Vamp, where you actually have to get up there auto-attacking the minion wave to stay healthy. It's not like passive sustain, which would be health per 5, Philostone, Force of Nature, Warmog's Armor. If she gets into melee range right now, she's just going to die because Renekton has just an incredible amount of burst and ignite to finish her off. So it's like, oh, there's that cough again.
Oh, sorry about it. I thought I applied.
So Shreve, having a little bit of trouble, really getting bullied out of lane here, is behind about 60 CS. Poopster actually getting found by the Renekton, I believe. Tries to put down the shield. Oh, and a nice taunt from Octave, almost certainly going to pick up the kill. And it, in fact, does pick up that kill. Nicely done from Shen and Renekton to kind of get that roam going on. Lee Sin's going down bot. Nautilus puts the ulti down on Caffeine, who's taking a lot of damage from turret, just one shot away. And now Tristana's going to wait here in this rush. They do all make it out of there. Thankfully, Blitzcrank had his mana barrier passive. Kind of help him out a little bit. Caffeine just going to do a little bit of counter jungling, knowing that Shen and Renekton are very likely doing the same to him. Shen did in fact just steal three of the 4 wraiths, leaving one small behind. So now Caffeine's going to go ahead and return the favor over on those golems. It's Kobana. Octave actually spotted its Koban there, but not really a whole lot of reaction from Yes. I think that had Yes reacted a bit faster, that could have been a kill on Koban. Who really, is going to have a hard time escaping from Shen taunt, Morgana bind, and Morgana ulti. But at any rate, it's just going to run away. A nice binding coming out of the hands of Yes. Does put down that shield. However, Poopster can pretty much entirely negate the DOT from the pool with just one application of his power transfer, dealing around. Oh wow, and a nice drop from Caffeine to get that Q down. Shen gets taken quite low, and a nice Blitzcrank knock up into grab is going to go ahead and take that kill. And now Dragon is up. I think maybe its Koban needs to be a little bit careful here, going very, very, very aggressive onto this Nautilus. Actually, Tristana ulti knocking him out of the way of the dredge line. However, that is going to mean that red team's going to be forced to take this Dragon. Oh wow, and the ulti goes down on Yes, and so much damage going out. I don't know if that Black Shield just barely keeping her alive. A nice gravity field from Poopster does trap Renekton, stunning him, allowing Caffeine to pick up the kill with that Dragon's Rage. Has gone ahead and built up that Wriggles. It looks like he did. Wow, what a perfect play from Sabertooth Pie. Saw Morgana going in there and, on that ward and flashed over the wall for the silence. Let me just take a look at that in the super sexy slow-mo. We can see here.
I am back.
Oh, hi.
Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to figure out. We're going to switch over to red team's vision shortly. So you can see they get this nice kill on the dragon. Unfortunately, Vayne did die. However, you just saw that little boop, that little spot of Morgana right there on that ward, and that allowed Blitzcrank to make that nice play where he just flashes over that wall. You see him just go whoop, flash over that wall, instantly pop the ulti. He knew Morgana was waiting in there. And a little bit of friendly trash talk coming out of the hands of Sabertooth Pie. Very, very, very nicely done to pick up that free, uncontested dragon. Well, it's not free. I should really not say, there's the word free, which kind of implies that they got it and didn't lose anything out of it. And you always lose something. You lose CS, you lose some pressure elsewhere on the map, something. But uncontested means, there wasn't a 5v5 fight to set it up. It's because they got a pick and then thought they were stronger. So that nice kill on Renekton and Morgana set it up. Vayne did also kill the support, however, did give the enemy AD carry a kill for that. So a little bit of a 1-for-1 trade. Vayne, of course, with that tumble, can tumble out of the dredge lines that this Nautilus is throwing out. Shen about to give Morgana, I believe, her first real blue buff that she got from this side of the map, but I don't actually know about that. Looks like Yes is going to go ahead and build probably a Rod of Ages. It could be a BV, and I think BV is very, very, very underrated against many AP champs. Not so much a Victor who has that short cooldown power transfer. BV not going to do a whole lot against that, but something like, if you were playing against Morgana, for instance, in order for her to kill you, she either needs to land a bind or land her ulti, and your BB will prevent one of them. And they're both very long cooldown. It's like, you know, oh wow, actually lots of damage going down bot lane onto both the support and the AD, and of course neither of them having the sustain other than just like 9% lifesteal from Masteries and Doran's Blades. Caffeine actually maybe going to be able to cut off Shen. You know, they might also just want to blitz down this turret. Morgana actually getting caught up top. The ignite from Shreve goes down. Shreve deciding actually not to pop her ulti. Probably a smart decision. Would have been a little bit embarrassing if Morgana had survived. But nope, she did.
Maybe it was because I was out of game, but I did not realize how strong Victor is right now. 5-1 with 5 assists.
Yeah.
Doing
Well,
a lot
also,
of damage.
you know, I think Yes is, in terms of gold, there's only a 600 gold lead because Morgana has built up that triple GP5. So she is dying a little bit more than she would otherwise want, I think. And we haven't really seen any successful Shen ultis to turn around these ganks that Caffeine is able to put down. Especially now that Shen is level 11, that's a 550 shield. 550 health shield, which is huge. And, you know, maybe it's the fault that, you know, Yes has just got so much gold passively ticking away, but no real stats. And maybe it's just the fact that, maybe it's the fact that Shen is just, you know, really kind of getting out-ganked a little bit by Lee Sin, who's really putting down a ton of pressure in these lanes. I would be interested to see if anything actually happens in this gank. I mean, you know, I think Caffeine's a very smart player. He knows to just run away because that is a 3v2. So
it looked like something was going to develop a little earlier, but
yeah. Caffeine actually picking up a Phage. Likely, you know, you don't see a whole lot of Trinity forces being built on Lee Sin anymore, or even just Trinity forces in general. It's kind of gone by the wayside. It's a very bursty item, you know, with that, especially if you get the Phage procs, especially if you can utilize the Sheen effectively. But generally, you know, Frozen Mallet really has replaced Triforce in many, many ways. And especially on Lee Sin, you know, you want to get the auto attacks off because you want to get your energy back, and relying on a Phage proc to kind of slow them down. Not really the best. Actually, Yes going in there. Caffeine is around. A nice taunt from Octave, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, and that Q just barely missing. Oh, and a nice blitz grab. There's the auto attack from Koban to pick up 215 gold.
Out of there.
Yeah, it's not Blitzcrank. It's definitely not Blitzcrank. It's what is it? Steve from accounting. He's got that. He's got those novelty glasses and the big nose on, big eye over his head. Missing a little bit of action here with my lame jokes. Oh, and a nice flash grab from Blitz, but it doesn't actually connect. It looks like they're just gonna go ahead and blitz down. Wow, and so much damage going down on onto Tristana Castro from Poopster. Tons and tons and tons of damage. Koban.
Ults are just being pulled left and right by the blue team. If I were purple, I'd go in right now.
Yeah. Oh wow, and actually Sabretooth Pie gets taken down very low. Didn't even get his ulti off. But wow, what was that? Nice kick, by the way. Kicking, I believe, the Nautilus into the Shen, able to pick up the kill there. A nice auto attack from Koban, gonna pick up the kill there onto the Nautilus, and this looks like it could be, you know, a free inhibitor for Red Team. Morgana really not in a position to 1v4 them right now. Often, you know, maybe had she built that Johnny's Hourglass first, she would have been able to kind of flash in there, pop the ulti, pop the Black Shield, and then go ahead and get that, you know, get that stun down on everyone. But no, because of this triple GP5, she does have a little bit more gold than she otherwise would. She's sitting at 8.5k, which is by far the most on her team, but she just doesn't have the stats to make up for it. She has 1,600 gold that she needs for the needlessly large rod. Past that, it's going to be another 1,500 until she can get that Johnny's Hourglass. But that's really the item I want to see her buying, because there are just so many damage threats on Red Team. If she flashes in for the ulti, she's just going to get absolutely destroyed. So I really do want to see Yes pick up a Johnny's Hourglass instead of a Rabadon's Death Cap this game. Vayne going to go ahead and pick up that Phantom Dancer. In terms of the builds right now, you know, we can pretty directly compare Tristana and Vayne. Even though Vayne, I think, has a lot more gold, you can't necessarily say that she'll be dealing more damage, because Tristana does have that nice juicy Infinity Edge crit, which changes the critical strike modifier from 200% to 250%, so an extra 50% damage. But we shall
There's
see.
a lot of debate in between building the Bloodthirster first against the Infinity Edge, just because of the sustain that a Bloodthirster gives. And if you notice, Tristana actually has none right now.
Yeah.
So if she gets targeted in a fight, there's not really much she can do to recover.
Yeah. The thing is, Tristana's super safe because of her long range and her rocket jumps. As long as she's using that rocket jump defensively instead of trying to secure kills with it, I wouldn't be surprised if if she handles team fights well, especially since she has 4 super beefy peelers. I wouldn't be surprised if she takes very little damage. Of course, there is the Olaf that they have to keep out, keep an eye out for, and she might be able to go in and get the sort of undertows and reckless swings down on Tristana. However, I think for the most part, Tristana is going to be able to just auto attack and throw out IE crits from long range. The thing about Vayne though is that she's so short range. She's not like Tristana. If you're playing a Caitlyn, a Tristana, a Kog'Maw, building a Bloodthirster first doesn't really make that much sense because you just have such long range that you shouldn't really be taking damage with good positioning. But Vayne, she wants to pop that ulti and tumble kind of through the enemy team. She's more of an assassin type AD than a true sort of ranged AD carry. So I don't know. They provide different things. I think that Bloodthirster makes you a much better duelist than Infinity Edge, and I think that if you have a fully stacked Bloodthirster, you can 1v1 someone who just has the Infinity Edge, all else equal. But I mean, it is an interesting sort of subtlety in the itemization that League of Legends offers, because you'd think that more damage is always better, but it is very, very, very much not the case. Morgana just kind of waiting around in this area. Ooh, tries to go for that blind bind on Koban. Yeah. It's really, I think, maybe if Morgana gets a nice ulti under turret range, it's going to be fine. Blitzcrank going to go in and try and get that grab off. And yes, with the nice spell shield. Oh, and Koban gets taken down very low. The ulti from... oh, wow, and Pat actually able to get in there. Doesn't, I think, get his Q off. However, Tristana gets the exhaust down. Rocket jumps away. Capping going to go down. She's going to get her rocket jump reset now. Shreve not going for the Tristana, instead putting a lot of damage down on the Shen there. Shreve with the triple kill. Actually gonna get taken down to turret. I think living. Oh no, dying to the final tick of Ignite. Oh, and a nice binding. This is just kind of going back and forth, and now Blitzcrank's in a little bit of trouble. He's probably gonna want to just run away. Able to get behind his minions, which means no real opportunity for the Morgana to land a binding. Nice job there. Able to pick up the kill. The support 1v1ing the AV carry.
Play by Blitzcrank right there.
He very nicely sat in between the minion waves, which meant that Morgana didn't want to use her binding, because if it gets tanked by a minion wave, then she just has really nothing to her kit that will let her win that 1v1. And of course, Castro.
At the beginning of that team fight, the way that all was initiated was because was able to get an ult on Vayne, and then subsequently Hooker right afterwards. And that I think was the thing that was enable him to actually be able to do that, because if they weren't gonna focus down that Vayne, these fights should going all the way to the purple team.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe, by the way, on that Blitz kill, now that I can kind of think of it with the spectator 2020 hindsight advantage, had Morgana put the black shield down on a Tristana, she could have just went in and auto attacked her. It looks like now we're going to see a little bit of a two-man Baron coming out of the hands of Koban and Caffeine. They actually find Fat, and they have the Frozen Mallet on Lee Sin. Fat is going to have to run all the way back to his base. Although, wow, actually gets that... Oh no, it's not going to be enough, of course. A little bit of a late ulti from Yes, and a nice job with Koban putting down... Wow, Castro actually just gets destroyed by the Poopster on Victor. That burst damage was just amazing. Blitzcrank also picking up the kill there on Lee Sin. A nice Q from Caffeine, blind over the wall, picks up the slow on Octave, able to set up the kill. That is almost certainly going to be GG here. Super Minions will be pushing down mid. They get the inhibitor. It looks like maybe they can just tank it. They have Shreve, who has 130... Oh, that's not Shreve. They have Shreve, who has 184 armor and 3.2k HP. They take the left one down first. Now Caffeine's tanking the turret. Nocturne's back in around. The ulti does go off on the Blitzcrank. It's not going to be enough. Only Nautilus is up. Tristana in 8 seconds. Renekton in 5. This is going to be GG. Poopster the dredge line goes right through him. Very nice job from red team to turn that around. Because for a little bit there, until Victor really just started destroying those team fights, it did look like blue team had quite the advantage. And if you use Elo as an indicator of who's going to win games, 3 platinum players on blue team compared to just Caffeine on purple. So in terms of just looking at the Elo, I personally, I'm guilty of it too. I thought that really blue team was going to be able to take home that win, especially since Nautilus did a decent job of getting those kills on Vayne early on. But I think Blitzcrank just did a phenomenal job of kind of, sort of setting those games up. Setting those kills up. Picking up a kill on Morgana here, or getting a grab on Tristana there. Did allow him to take some early objectives. What do you think?
I know there was a good 5-minute period where I was just not watching, and I was trying to figure out how to
push the taco peak.
And I come back in, it was pretty even. I come back, and purple team is just taking down towers left and right. There's just an overall dominance across the board when it came to Victor. His influence in mid really spread out in other lanes. He was able to, his dominance allowed Lee Sin to go bully up Renekton up top when Shreve was having problems. He was able to go down bottom and, help with Blitzcrank being able to follow up on a couple of grabs that he's able to do, And just having one lane that is really dominant can influence all lanes in different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, especially mid where, Morgana was quite weak because of that triple GP5 build. It gave her a huge amount of gold. Actually the second highest in the entire game. But when you're buying GP5s, you're getting very, very, very little stats in return for those. So
she kind of an illusion.
Yeah. So she did she didn't really have maybe the survivability against this Victor that she really wanted, and especially with the help of Sabertooth Pie's Blitzcrank, he was able to kind of roam mid and help pick up a couple kills on her, which really, really, really punished her for that GP5 build. She didn't go Johnny's Hourglass, which I don't really like. I mean, I guess she did go for that Rod of Ages, but Johnny's Hourglass just gives you so much utility. I'm asking Shreve if she wants to do a post-game interview, by the way, so I'm hoping she gets in here.
I hope so too. I'm just getting giddy thinking about it.
I'm gonna grill her on her Olaf play. Where is she?
Hey man, they came out with a victory.
They did. They indeed did. Oh, she says she needs to get ready for Diablo, so... Alright, well, I was going to do a fun post-game interview. Oh, wait, I can have Sabertooth Pie.
Oh my god, I did not realize that. Oh, go ahead.
I'm trying to get Sabertooth Pie in here. I'm just trying to get someone in here.
I just had no idea that Diablo was coming out. Like, it's 11:55 my time right now, so it's like 5 minutes until Diablo.
Oh, come on. I said to someone that I was going to start doing post-game interviews, and I need to get those.
I
going.
One time that Kaiser actually wanted to get me in for an interview, and you're like, "Oh, I don't want Wally in here. No, I don't want to talk to Wally."
Yo, that is because we had other games to get going, whereas now everyone's just trying to get ready for Diablo.
That's reasonable. You can't blame them.
Yep, I can't.
They were waiting years for it.
Yeah. Alright, screw this. It's taking too long to get an interview going. I'm just gonna go ahead and end this.
For a post-game interview.
Yeah, except he's muted and deafened on Mumble. Does he even have a mic? Oh, I have him on local mute because he was trolling me the other day. Hi, Octave. How's it going? Octave?
I messed up mid.
You messed up mid?
I messed up mid.
Was Yes very angry at you?
Yes.
Why?
Because I messed up mid.
What are your thoughts on Jungle Shen versus, especially with the matchup of Lee Sin? How could you improve that? Why is it awful?
Because you shouldn't play it.
Do you actually have anything to say in this interview, or are you just gonna
No,
troll
I'm
me?
serious. You
Okay.
can't farm.
He is quite single target, but he ganks very hard.
But you can't farm.
Where are your ganks?
I don't know. I
Sabertooth
went
Pie,
tournaments.
anything to say on about your Blitzcrank play?
That flash ulti.
That
Oh,
flash
with the
ulti was
Dragon
pretty
Ball?
nice. I watched it 3 times.
Oh my god.
I
I
have
think
something to say about his
I
play.
came a little bit when I did that.
Nice. What do you have to say about the Blitzcrank play, Octane?
Fuck you.
All right.
You
Well,
grabbed me.
this is turning into a bit of a joke. Actually, it's been a joke now for about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go end this recording and get a drink. Any final words from either of you, or
I'm
maybe
gonna
you,
go play
Wally?
Diablo.
Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for that, jerk. Anyway,
Jungle Shen.
this is the worst post game interview I've ever heard. Anyway, Wale, thanks for co-casting with me. Good luck with your sickness. I hope you recover. I hope you also set up Push to Talk. Just saying.
I did. I did.
Oh, you did? I did
Yes,
notice a
yes, I
distinct
did. And,
lack of coughs at the end.
Yes. Thank you for having me co-cast for the little time that I was able to
It was
be in the
fun.
game.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna end this recording and put it up on YouTube, and then go actually play some games now. So see you later.